Hey guys, welcome back to part B of number 2 from the 2016 AP Computer Science free response. In this problem, they say write the log message method contains word, which returns true if the description of the log message properly contains a given keyword and returns false otherwise. So they give you these three things right here. The first thing is a description properly contains a keyword if all three of the following conditions are true. The first one is the key is a substring of the description. The key is either at the beginning of the description or it is immediately preceded by a space. The key is either at the end of the description or is immediately followed by a space. So, once again, this is our method header. It's going to take the keyword that we're looking for, and let's figure this out here. Okay, so I'm using what the AP left, but I'm just going to explain it. Okay, so these are just a bunch of if statements, and if you take a look for this guy right here, remember all of these are going to say return true, return true, return true, return true, otherwise it's false. So for the red, I'm going to line up with the red. So if the keyword, so you're going to have a description. So in this case here, these are my descriptions. Disk, error on whatever that is. Okay. And the keyword here is disk. Now in this specific description for this guy here, the entire description is just the keyword. So that's what this if statement is right here. If the description dot equals the keyword, return true. So that's this one here. In other words, no other words in description. That's the first one. Okay. Second one is the keyword is either at the beginning of the description or it's immediately preceded by a space. So let's see. That's the blue part right here. The blue part says, okay, so do you remember what index of does? It returns an integer. So this is going to give us an integer, and it returns it after it finds the word, the exact word, and it tells you what index it's going to be at. So if it's at index 0, that means it's in the beginning. So it says description.index of keyword plus a space equals 0. So if the first word is the keyword is this here, so let me so you guys can keep with the color. So this guy is for the red and this guy is for the blue. Now this part here, okay, let's read what I wrote down here. It says if the word is in the middle of the description separated by these quotation marks. So remember, if it does equal -1, that means they can't find the word. So if the description dot index of quotation plus the keyword plus quotation, that means there's a space between these two. If that doesn't equal -1, in other words, if it equals a number, we don't care where the keyword is, but we just know that it equals a number, which means it's found, and so return true there. So that's that guy. Now this one might be a little bit tricky, but let's take a look at it. First, your description length must be greater than the keyword length, okay? So I took one of their examples and I wanted to show you what they did here. So let me just highlight this. Description.substring, and here the parentheses for the dot substring ends and it starts here and there's no comma in between, so that means it's going to chop off wherever the index is. So it says description.length minus keyword.length minus 1. So I took this guy right here and error on disk, and I gave it numbers 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. Remember, a space is 5, a space is 8, and so on. So right now the length is 13. It's numbered from 0 to 12. The keyword here is disk. Disk is 4. So for the length, 13 minus 4 minus 1 makes 8. So what would happen here in this case is that this guy here, all of it would just equal the number 8. So let's see what that looks like here. Well, this is number 8. So it's a space and disk, okay? Now it says if that equals a space and disk, return true, because that means the keyword, which we're looking for, disk, is there. And that's what they mean by the keyword is either at the end of the description or followed by a space. So this one was a bit tricky on how to get that. So you had to take the length of the description minus the keyword minus 1, so you could chop that off using a substring. Otherwise, at the very, very end, return false. So that's part B. I hope that was good.